You're listening to an Anazao Ministries podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, lions and toucans and zebras of all ages, we welcome you to a wonderful world of Walt Disney's animation studios. This is part of our Disney era series. We are kicking off the Renaissance era with the one, the only, Lion King. Hey, if you have not seen The Lion King before, I don't know, maybe you've been living under a rock since 1994, or maybe it's just been a while. We hope that this episode not only brings back maybe some nostalgia for the longtime lovers, but we encourage you to get out from under that rock and go watch The Lion King. There are so many different ways you can enjoy this show, but we are specifically talking about the beautiful 2D animation of The Lion King. You are listening to Systematic Geekology. I have been told we are the priest to the geeks, so it is time for us to start geeking out. I am your host, Elizabeth Payne Clyde, and joining me are Christian Ashley. How's it going, Christian?
I'm all right, Pang. If I sound a little bad this episode, it's because I'm on vacation and I do have other people around me, and there's really not a good place to record, so apologies for my audio if Josh was not able to fix it. But, you know, keep him accountable. Tell him he should be able to.
Right. But also, how dare you have community outside of us? So
I know,
there's
right?
that problem.
How dare I have friends pre-established before him? Although some of these friends he does know because this is when we went to college together.
Okay. All right. And we also have Keno Cannady. How's it going, Keno?
It's going well. It's funny enough, I am the oldest here, so I remember watching this movie in the theaters.
Ooh. Oh, I can't wait to hear all about that. And we have a very special guest. His name is John. I cannot pronounce his last name, so we're going to go with his pen name, John Transylvania. I'm just being honest. This is a super candid episode. He said his last name, and I was like, yep. So, John, tell us, what is your last name officially?
Hi, I'm John Erdely. My last name is pronounced Erdely. It's actually a Hungarian name. When translated, means Transylvania. So if you call me John Transylvania, which is my author name, that will be my actual name.
There you go. See, look, we're covering you from all bases.
Yes.
All. So, guys, real quick before we get into the meat of this episode, what have you been geeking out on? Don't have to give us details. You can do that during the recommendation, but just tell me real quick, what have you guys been nerding out on?
I have been watching a seasonal anime called Shy, which is about a little young girl who is the only superhero in Japan, facing off against global threats with other superheroes around there. So it's only like five episodes in right now, but really enjoyable, really loving it.
Okay. I have been playing Lego Super Marvel Heroes 2 on the PlayStation. Only because my child will not allow me to play Spider-Man on PlayStation 5. So
how selfish! This is why I don't have kids.
Very selfish. You don't have kids, okay? They suck the life out of you.
No,
they suck the life out of you. Stay young forever.
I'm trying. I keep on drinking more unicorn blood, but we'll see how it helps.
Please give me some because I need it.
What about you, John? What you been geeking out on?
I've actually started. We actually just beat Halo 1 with my kids. I've been playing that with my kids. Their first time ever playing Halo, and they love throwing grenades and splattering and driving vehicles and running over each other, and it's just chaos and a half.
All right, that's fun. I'm geeking out over stuff less fun because Hubs and we just bought some land. I'm actually going to be close to host TJ in a few years. So I've been geeking out on home improvement episodes and custom dream homes and all that stuff. All the HGTV TV shows, trying to plan a future house. So it's fun, but not really like geeking fun. It doesn't really like help me relax, but it's fine. This will, though. Talking about The Lion King is going to be fantastic. Are you guys excited?
I am.
I'm excited.
Let's do it.
Oh yeah.
I wish like the listeners could hear us all before this episode because like we were all just talking about how tired we're excited. But I just wanted to see what you guys would say because we were all like, I have a headache, I'm tired. But this is going to rejuvenate us and it's going to be fantastic. So, guys, if you love the Disney era films, I'm not sure what number this is in our series, but there is going to be a link in the show notes so you can see all of the Disney eras we have been talking about and you can see them all in one location. So feel free to count which episode this is if you really care. I did not, so I did not count. It's probably higher than I can count, to be honest. But it's time to get into the movie. I like to call Lion King the Titanic of Disney. And for those who have lived under a rock, you'll find out more about that later. So, guys, we all chose to be on this episode. Well, maybe, I don't know, John, if you had a choice or not, but sometimes we volunteer people. But why did you guys sign up to participate in this episode? What's your relationship with The Lion King? Keno, you said you saw it in theaters. That's crazy.
Yes, no, yeah. So I love The Lion King. My mother took me to go see it, and I was, I am not gonna tell you how old I was, but I was young enough to be taken to the theater to go see this in the movies, and funny enough, I kid you not, the tickets was $2.25. I kid you not, but I even after watching it for a gift. When the VHS came out, my mother got me that. So I still have the original VHS. I've seen the Broadway play. I eat up any and everything of Lion King. Love it, love it, love it, love it.
Okay, I was around 94. With VHSs. Okay, I didn't see it in the theaters, but I also owned the VHS.
VHS was around still right before the iPhone.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, technically, they're still around. They're just antiques, if you will.
Retro.
What about you? Yeah, retro, which is all the rage now. It's so annoying. It's like, leave my skinny jeans alone, guys.
Yes.
What about you, John? What's your relationship with this?
It's been a classic. I've probably watched it, dozens of times. I enjoyed it as a kid. I love the animation. It's a timeless classic, and I love being able to enjoy that with my kids and seeing how they react and being able to see the same type of joy that they watch or that they have when they watch it. And it's kind of fun being a parent watching your kids watch the movies you watched growing up.
And how old is your kid? So even though they are in obviously the younger generation, so they still find the 2D animation amusing. They still think it's pretty. They don't think it's too cheesy. Because, kids are growing up with these high-tech stuff now. So they still are engaged.
Yeah, they have an appreciation for animation. And they can tell good quality animation versus, there's a lot of really poor quality animated shows on TV nowadays. And they notice the difference. And they're able to see, how the animated style is better, really when we were growing up than the shows that they have now.
That is raising up children as the way they should go. Good job. We thank you for your service. We thank you for building the kingdom of the Lord, our God, and as well as building the kingdom of Disney. Thank you for your service. What about you, Christian? What's your relationship with this movie?
Speaking of chitlins, they're all running amok outside the door. So if they're in the background, they're in the background. But for me, I was 4 when this came out, and my sister was 2. And this has been one of her favorite movies. It's one of those things we would always watch together as kids. As over time goes, like she still loves it to this day. And me, as someone who really loves studying animals, even till now, like this is like the perfect movie for that. You get to see this vast expanse of biology.
Okay. So rapid fire real quick. If you had to rate it 0 to 10, everyone one at a time, not all at once, obviously, tell us what you would rate the movie.
Wait, you didn't tell us what's your introduction to this.
Oh, man. Okay. So it's not my favorite, but
Shame
the
on
reason I know, but I have to stick with my Mulan. You know, Chinese sisters got to celebrate Chinese sisters. Anyway, but
Wait, hold on now. Wait a minute.
What?
No, but you got to recognize that it was because of Lion King that Mulan happened.
Yeah, yes, I'm not saying it was a bad movie. I'm just
Okay.
saying it's not my favorite Keno.
To be quiet then. I'm just playing.
So there's a reason why I said it was the Titanic of Disney. So it's still a classic. I still love it. But it's not my favorite. But the reason why I wanted to get on this show, Keno, like you, I saw this in theaters and Broadway theaters, and I had box seats to it. And that was just an experience.
Wait, you're talking about the Broadway? This is your first exposure was the Broadway show?
No. This is why I wanted to join the episode.
Oh, okay.
Because I enjoyed the movie, but like my aunt in New York surprised me and gave my husband and I box seating. Gosh, why is that so hard? In New York, so I got to see him in a little fun box.
That's fun.
It was magical.
Oh yeah, no, I've also seen it, the live theater action, and it is mad. It is way better than the film could ever be.
Yeah, it's because it's an experience.
Yes,
and so that's where my love for Lion King really heightened. So I would give if we're talking about the 2D film, I will give it a 7. What about you guys?
I don't. I'm rethinking our friendship now because
it's fine.
I understand though. I understand. I get it. But
I see my ratings as rankings. You know what I mean? So if I rate something as a 10, I have to think of all the rankings below of what I would put those movies. Like what I would want to watch more than The Lion King.
Oh no! I will be watching The Lion King. I will sing every song. Funny enough, I even quoted Scar in a sermon. I'm trying to remember what was the line. I can't remember, but somebody was like, "That was from the Lion King show." It was.
Be prepared.
But no, it was Be Prepared. But I'm trying to remember what I said. I can't remember what I said. But it was from Be Prepared. But for me, it's a 10 only because again, I remember just the magic and the awe of the opening sequence in the theater. Just like, whoa, what is this? And just talking African animals and I can't even think of names. Earl Jones? No, not Earl Jones. What is his name?
James Earl Jones. Yeah.
James Earl Jones. Yes, I'm trying to do the first Mufasa and I can't remember the lady. She was from Coming to America, so we know these voices. We knew some of these voices. So yeah, you had to go see this, and yeah, this was an awesome experience. Especially.
So what's your rating though for the film?
10. I said 10.
Sorry.
I was just going in.
Sorry.
I said 10. Why would it not be 10?
I don't know because there's better ones.
No, it's not.
Okay. Well, now that Keno's on a tangent, what about you, John? What would you rate this one?
I give it a 9.5 because it's pretty much perfect. I really enjoy like the music.
What is your critiques about this show? What's your critique about the movie?
I'm getting there, Keno.
Okay. I'm just like,
That's so funny.
Such a good movie.
And I'm not. Now, here's the thing. My critiques isn't where it's bad. I just think of how many movies I would rather watch besides Lion King. So that's why I have 7 out of 10.
Yeah, there's always going to be some other movie that you're going to watch besides this. But what movie will make you feel like you cried when he died? No cartoon has ever touched the society like that except for when Bambi's mama died.
Yeah, that was sad. I mean, so just the premise for the people living under a rock.
If you've never seen this movie, shame on you. How are you living in this society?
I don't know because I mean it's been around since 1994. It's inspired by Hamlet. It has a lot of biblical stories like inspiration as well. So for those who do not know The Lion King, it features a star-studded cast, as Keno mentioned, and it's major won Oscars, but it's a little lion called Simba who just can't wait to be king of the jungle. And great music, love the sing-along music, and pretty much he goes onto this journey his father does pass away, and he thinks it's his fault. So he goes onto this almost like this self-discovery journey, makes some friends, and then he has to go save his homeland pretty much from his evil uncle. So very Hamlet-esque, if you will. Right. So, okay, do you guys understand why I said this is the Titanic of Disney?
Oh no, trust me, I understand.
You get it? You understand completely?
This was a blockbuster for Disney. This was a huge blockbuster for
because
Disney.
I get so angry when Mufasa dies. I'm like, he could have held on a little longer on that cliff. He could have, like, I thought all cats were supposed to like fall feet first. Why didn't he fall feet first into those like antelopes or whatever, gazelles or something?
The wildebeest.
And run with them. Yeah, wildebeest. Thank you. I knew it was something like that. Thank you, John. But like, you know, like there's just so many, like it's the same feeling I get with freaking Titanic, because Jack could have fit on that door and survived.
Yeah.
You know, he could have done
that
it.
would not have been a story.
I understand.
There would not have been a story. How else would Simba become king? The king has to die.
Yes, I understand. But the point is, the emotion I get is the same feeling. I'm like, he could have, like, come on. And granted, that is a beauty of Disney, like how it invokes that emotion every single time. It doesn't matter how many times I've watched Lion King or a rendition of it. It's going to make me feel that way every single time. So kudos to Disney.
That was the whole point. That's to get you roped in from
make you
start
feel
to
things.
finish. Yeah, like some things you like. Why am I crying over a big lion dying? I don't. Why do I want the hyenas to win?
Right. So, okay, guys, tell me real quick, what's your favorite part about The Lion King? And then what's your favorite song?
It is, I can't, this has been so long since I've seen it, but it's where the hyenas and Ed and, dang it, what's the three hyenas? When they was like, I get chills just hearing his name, Mufasa.
Oh yeah, that's
Mufasa.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite scene. That's my favorite scene. Just that alone. And then my favorite song, how dare you make me choose? But it's Be Prepared. It's literally Be Prepared.
I think that's one of the best villain songs, I will say.
It is, man, just, yeah, Be Prepared. Now, I will say, I tried to play the game when it came out on Nintendo.
Super Nintendo.
But it was, yeah, oh my gosh, that made me
Sega
mad.
Genesis.
Yes, that made me real mad. Okay. That's how much I love the game, because I even paid for the game. Never again. Never again. So that's what it is for me.
Nice. What about you, John?
Okay, my favorite scene is probably when they stumble into the elephant graveyard. It's such a creepy tone, and when they get discovered by the hyenas and cornered, it's just you're just like, oh gosh, they're gonna die. They're these little lion cubs, and they're cornered in this creepy place that they shouldn't have been in, and it's just such a great scene. And my favorite song is, I've got to agree with Keno on this one. Be Prepared is such a I could sing that song all day. It's so iconic, and it's like the tyrannical dictator's like greatest hits.
All right, that's good. I do love that song, guys. I just unlocked a memory I didn't think of, so y'all are gonna judge me even more for rating this movie so low. So my favorite scene would be whenever they are. Now it's not my favorite song, but I love the scene when they are singing I Just Can't Wait to Be King. I love looking at the different animals. I love like the colors of everything. So that's my favorite scene, and it's just really fun. My favorite song, I have to choose Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Because I walked down to that.
Oh, did you?
For my wedding.
Oh, that's
but
so
in my
sweet.
head, it was obviously not the Lion King's version. It was Elton John's version.
Yeah.
But like,
he did
so
the whole soundtrack.
Yeah, so I walked down to Can You Feel the Love Tonight? For the wedding, because I am a huge Disney nerd. But so I feel like I should have rated the Lion King higher.
Yeah. Especially if you did that.
I know. I'm gonna change my rating from a 7 to an 8 because I mean, how dare I? Okay, we can be friends now.
Yes, we can be friends now. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
We played Can You Feel the Love Tonight at my wedding too.
Yes, I knew I liked you, John. I knew. I felt a connection.
Christian was there. He can verify.
Nice.
I can.
Wow. I feel like we just got so close. So Christian, real quick, we all just said our rating for the movie, our favorite scene, and our favorite song. So go.
This is a 10 out of 10 for me. I know it's probably based around nostalgia, but I can go back to this movie at any point in time and just have the time of
Anytime.
my life. Love this
Y'all
movie.
are not saved and sanctified, Holy Ghost filled. That's the problem. Y'all not saved and sanctified. Thank you, Christian. He
I'm
is
a
saved and
Pentecostal.
sanctified,
I
Holy Ghost
am
filled.
Holy.
Oh, okay.
He's
It's
Baptist.
good
Do
to
you
know
even
we're on the
believe
same
in the
side,
Holy
Keno.
Ghost?
Oh, we do believe in the Holy Ghost now. We do.
Okay, because
It's
I'm
okay.
Pentecostal.
Okay.
All right.
Uh,
Okay, that's
so-
another thing.
So it was
I
that
have to get my
scene
anointing on,
and
y'all. Lord have mercy.
probably favorite scene is like reclaiming the Pride Lands. I'm always a sucker for like you gather everyone you've met through the film for the final battle and taking it back from Scar who's ruined the land, and now Simba is to hope that things can be to where they needed to be before Mufasa died. And then songs, I mean, it's hard to beat Hakuna Matata or I Just
That's a
Can't Wait
cute
to Be
one,
King.
yeah.
But I guess if I had to give an answer, it would be Hakuna Matata. It's just a chill song about three friends
It means
becoming
no
friends.
worries.
Do what?
It means no worries.
For the rest
For
of
the
your
rest
day.
of your days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great song. Now, characters, that's a tough one. Because there's a lot of really good ones here. Scar is one of the best villains we've ever had.
If we're doing
skip ahead.
characters, it has to be it's fine. But I'm gonna have to say the toucan.
Zazu is a good one.
Yes.
Zazu. That's probably one of my favorite scenes too. When he's like in the lion's bones, you know what I mean, and just kind of like singing. And Prisoner, I love toucan.
Singing Monty Python.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go with Scar. He is one of my favorite Disney villains. He's a tremendous threat to Simba, like gaslighting him into thinking that he's the one responsible for Mufasa's death, leading his reign of devastation on the land and the Pride Lands. Love that so much. He's a great enemy to fight in the Kingdom Hearts series to an extent there. It's wacky how that happens.
Nerd.
But yeah, thanks, John. We can also, John's just saying that because Barbara and I, his wife, really love Kingdom Hearts, and he's just staring at the screen going, what's happening?
I will never understand the plot. It is too convoluted for me.
Oh my gosh.
Fun stuff. So as we're going deeper into this, I mentioned it a little earlier, but and Christian, you kind of mentioned it too. Simba it really struggles with like his identity and responsibility as the future king of the Pride Land. So he has like a kind of like not really an ethical dilemma, but like a dilemma where he can stay with Timon and Simba and have Hakuna Matata, means no worries for the rest of your days. Or thanks. Or you're going to go and retake your rightful role as king and fight for your homeland. So he's struggling with his identity as well as like his responsibilities. So like did you guys relate to that any? Or
yeah, it reminds me a lot of the Lord of the Rings with Aragorn being the rightful king, but he really doesn't want that responsibility in the beginning, and he's doing his ranger thing, but then by the end of it he's reclaiming Gondor as the rightful heir to the throne.
Mm-hmm. I just rewatched the Lord of the Rings, so I appreciate that. What about you, Keno? I feel like we can all relate to kind of like struggling a little bit with the identity we have. Like even when you think about like our identity with Christ and how that bears responsibilities of being, Christ-like.
Yeah, no. So I will say I can identify with Simba only because me being a pastor and in ministry and having friends that I've known from high school and college and trying to relate to them and being connected with them. I know what it's like to try to feel like no one knows what the responsibility is, and trying to understand or get people to understand what it's like and how you might move forward in life. So I really do identify with Simba in that regard, and how it's always your responsibility. Like I don't be wanting this responsibility. Like y'all don't be calling me. Don't call me. If somebody die, call somebody. I'm just playing. That was literally a joke, y'all. that's it's knowing how that even though you might not want the mantle, it is still your birthright. It is something that is God's given, and so you have to walk in that authority.
Yeah, I like that, the birthright of it. And then even when we go further near the end of the episode, and Christian was talking about how Simba comes to like defeat Scar, he's struggling with like initially seeks revenge against Scar, but decides whether to follow the path of vengeance or forgiveness, because he could, he had every right to kill Scar. He had every right to take back what was his, and being really like bitter about it and let that haunt him the rest of the day. So Christian, since you brought that up, like how do you feel Simba handled revenge versus forgiveness?
Yeah. Simba had wrestling with that whole, I'm going to forge a new identity for myself and I'm just going to be some guy. I'm just going to live and enjoy life. Like, there's nothing inherently wrong with that unless there are responsibilities you have, which guess what? Oh, we all have responsibilities. I don't get to say just because I don't feel like I'm qualified to lead that I don't seek that out through seminary, that I don't see where God would want me to be placed. And it's that his whole what's the word I'm looking for here? The unwilling hero at the very beginning, eventually learning, okay, I do have this responsibility. It's not because my dad did it. It's not because that's what I'm told to do. This is because I want it. That really gets to me. Sorry, I thought everyone was frozen again there.
I thought you were pausing because I thought you paused for emotional effect.
Yeah, I did too. I was like, okay, oh my gosh.
Like, dang. I was like, tell us how you want
this is tremendous. It's always fun to be the wild card in these.
Dramatic effect.
But yeah, it's then him coming back and like recognizing I don't have to, this is not my destiny because someone else says so. It's because I am claiming it. I'm going to be the one to protect these people. That means a lot to me.
Yeah, and just to allow me to pick it back a little further, in ministry, there's this certain idea that folks have about preachers and pastors, and I fight hard to knock that down to where I'm intentional about, even on Sunday mornings, what I'm wearing. If I'm wearing a suit, I will have a Transformer lapel pin, or I have a whole bunch of other, like I have the Hand of the King lapel pin. It's a whole bunch of stuff, but I'm trying to let my identity be shown and seen, even though people do view me as a pastor and they put me on the pedestal. I'm like, no, I am just like you. The only difference is I answered my call. That's the only difference.
Well said.
Yeah, it shows. This whole movie does show, even though I gave it an 8, guys, don't hate me that I'm the lowest.
It was a 7.
It was a 7. I bumped it up to an 8. You see, look, you convinced me.
Progress.
And I kind of convinced myself.
See, peer pressure works,
It
guys.
does. It really does. I felt very awkward. But it shows so much great. It shows like friendship with Simba and Nala. And gosh, I literally had 2 dogs and I named them Simba and Nala. Now that I think about it too, like so many
things. Is that
things.
a form of heresy?
So many things are happening. Like I'm the worst host. But anyway, but like you see the camaraderie with Simba and Nala, how they have each other's back. You see like the friendship, and also you can see the diversity too of the Lion King, because remember when Timon and Pumbaa, they were afraid of Simba when they first saw him, and then they developed an unlikely friendship. So this movie does teach you a lot, and it does deserve high ratings. I just did not give it to.
It's okay.
You're allowed to do that.
High.
It's okay.
I am allowed to do that.
Just shun you forever.
And it's not because it's bad. It's only because I prefer to watch movies more than Lion King.
It's okay.
That's all.
It's
I don't
okay.
reach for it.
That's okay.
Okay. I mean, I feel
You don't need to justify yourself. We're just ganging up on you because it's funny.
I feel geek shamed right now. I'm just saying.
No, okay.
It's fine.
Then we'll go back.
But it's fun. It's all in good fun.
Okay.
So does anyone have anything else to add before we wrap up? Any favorite scenes, characters? Like, I mean, if anyone wants to break into songs, because we didn't talk about the songs enough.
No. But I do want to say that this movie should speak to all of us in terms of that friendship can be had with anyone that you have a connection with. And even if the connection is running away from your responsibilities, there's still a connection. and having, let me rephrase. No one needs to be isolated by themselves. You need someone with you. You need a friend or a partner to help you through life, period. And that's what this another thing about this movie is that Simba could not have captured the throne by himself. He needed Timon, Pumbaa, Nala, the rest of the pride. He needed all those folks. Jesus, what's the monkey? What's the monkey?
Rafiki.
Rafiki. Thank you.
Rafiki.
I love that baboon.
I do.
Another solid character.
Oh my gosh. So no, but friendships and having a diverse friendships is also important. That yes, you can always get along with people who look like you and think like you, but you also need some folks who are very different, who come from different lifestyle backgrounds and understanding. I have friends that are gay in the ministry. There's no judgment. That's just the way they are. That's fine. That's fine. Now I'm not even gonna do that, but I still love them. I still love them.
It's impossible to agree with everyone on every situation. So you always have to meet in the middle and extend grace and agree to disagree a lot of the time.
And that's fine.
I don't even agree with me all the time.
Yeah, no, obviously I'm disagreeing with myself all throughout this episode.
I agree with Christian.
So it's impossible to live anywhere and not. Yeah. Thank you, John. It's impossible to live life and 100% agree with people, and they're like, "That's your people." You're always going to say, "Yes, what you're doing is right." It doesn't exist.
Yep.
So get rid of that thought.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to add one last thing before about the movie is that every character had clear motivations, and they all had an arc where they didn't stay stagnant. They didn't stay the same. They all had fears and things that they had to confront, and they all grew over the course of the movie. And that's one of the reasons I like it. Is it's just great writing where the characters aren't like little 2D cutouts where they just stay the same. No, every single one of them had some type of change or an arc that was resolved by the end of the movie.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's like every character, like there's really no like back burner characters in this. Like everyone kind of, every character had its moment to shine.
Even the hyenas at the end turned on Scar because they heard him talking smack.
Right. Well, even those three was just funny.
Gosh, I love them. God,
they were so funny. But like, say it again, Mufasa. Yeah, I laughed about that.
Whoopi Goldberg.
Gosh. Oh yeah, that is her voice. I was trying to think. I was like, why is she so funny? That's why. Yep. So guys, if you enjoyed this, make sure you subscribe to our show on Captivate, our Patreon, or our AMP Network channel on Apple Podcasts for one final question we are going to address at the end of the episode. Spoiler, it's a little controversial. So if you want to listen to the little bit, hang out with us a little bit more, make sure you become our loyal members. Real quick before we end, give us recommendation, guys. I have nothing to recommend because I don't recommend stressing over building a house. It's awful. So I have nothing fun to recommend to these. So I need you guys to recommend something for me so I can actually have a mental break.
Well, I was going to recommend Loki, but that is not a mental break. That is really stressful, especially the last episode.
I've seen episode 1. I haven't seen 2 or 3. I've watched 1 though. What about you, Keno?
So let me say, full disclosure, I am in the process of a huge transition. So I don't even have time to really watch stuff. So literally I get maybe about an hour twice a week to play Legos. And that is it. But on the flip side, though, I would recommend, if you do have the time, read Harold Kushner's book, How Good We Have to Be. You want to understand forgiveness and shame? Try that book out.
All right. I do need to read more. I just need something to mentally relax.
Just get a good audiobook.
I should. Maybe I'll re-listen to the Harry Potters or something.
Listen, I promise you, it changed my life. And my wife's like, you need to get an audiobook. It's like, I don't want an audiobook. I like to have the book in my hand. Like, no. Oh, I was like, oh, this is good. I like this. Especially with the sounds and the effects and all that. Like, okay, yeah. So I'm paying for the subscription. That's something else I got to pay for. All right.
Oh, gosh. Well, guys.
Wait a minute, John.
Wait, John recommended Loki.
Oh, he did like in Loki. Oh.
Yeah, we lost Christian again, but we'll just wrap up the episode without him. That's what he gets for having friends outside of us, so he gets excluded.
Internet.
So if you haven't already, make sure you rate us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, whatever your platform is. That way we know if you like us. If you hate us, feel free to give us a 1-star review. If you hate us, we love all feedback. Promise. Or you can subscribe to our YouTube channel to hang up with us a little bit more. Thank you again for joining us through this journey of the Pride Lands and the timeless tale of the Lion King. Hakuna Matata, guys.
This was an Anazao Ministries podcast. If you enjoyed this show and would like to learn more about our network, be sure to check out the Anazao Ministries Podcast Network.